Hey everybody, video here for you today. This is kind of by request. Had a lot of comments, a few requests to look into Nazca a little more. And I have made videos on Nazca a few years ago. Some of you might remember those. The famous lines of Nazca, most people associate them with this region right down here. There are many lines down here. Other things, spiders, monkeys, other things. But here is an area today that most people are familiar with. Thin lines. There are large lines like this one right here. Maybe we can get a look here at the spider down here. It is right here. People have put out a few different theories of the purpose of this thing. But what I want to do is I want to go up into the mountains, and I think there is a bigger mystery up there, even though these lines are a big enough mystery by themselves. I made the video about 3 days ago about this, what looks like a large snake up here in the mountains. Let's just take a closer look at that. But if you notice right down here, there is a circle actually in the snake right there. Humans have been here. And then there's this area right in front of it. It appears it is built up with large stones. Some of them even appear to be whiter in color, just around the outside of the body than some of the other stones. But a circle right in that serpent right there. And it appears this thing is built up. Let's just zoom in here. Would stones be built up like this on the top of a mountain? I don't know. I think this thing is an actual effigy up here. I don't think that's how rocks would be formed up here in the perfect shape of a serpent. Here you see down by the head, there are large stones down here, and this is actually raised up down here. What it appears to me is this might be a natural formation up above it here, the top part of the serpent, and then they put stones down here to make it resemble a large snake. But clearly, the bottom part of it is built up with large stones, and some of them right at this part looks like almost a wall right here, and then a circle right there. What does that represent? Why is that there? Way up on the top of this mountain. Now, to make things just a little weirder, let's just go up nearby here and check this out right down here. I found this last night. This is nearby. This is really weird. There appears to be stones set up. And does this look like a fish? The stones are set up. And what is this right here? There appears to be a circle, and then all of the stone except the whitest stone is cleared out of it. And here we are up on this ridge. Is that a fish? And what the heck is that white circle stone structure there? But it appears coming back here. It looks like it's raised up here. Comes back. Is that a fish? Or am I just seeing things? But people have been right here. There appears to be a line almost coming out of his mouth. I don't know. That appears very strange. That appears to be in the form of a fish. There's a look at it there. Let's back out. What do you think? Leave your comments below. And what in the world is that? There are many places up here where I found ruins like this, and I kind of showed a few of those the other day, but if you look around up here, you can find literally hundreds of these, and there is no people living up here or no sign of civilization up on the top of this plateau over 10,000 feet, but there are plenty of ruins. But I'm more concerned what is over here. Let's take a trip up the valley a little. Now, most of what you see on Nazca comes from right down here. What we showed in the beginning of this video, but you notice all those blue dots up there, those placement markers? Well, there's a bigger mystery up there. Nazca down in the bottom right. Let's just take a look at this plateau, this little point out here, and this is where these large, strange lines start. Here is one right down here. And the true purpose of these really hasn't been shown or proven out by any one theory. And just to the north of that one, we have these right here. And these, some of these go for well over a mile. Here is that one right there. Just back up, but that starts literally right on the edge of that mountain there. And there are a few other smaller ones down below, ones that kind of crisscross There are literally more big lines up in the mountains than down on that plateau near the ocean. But this is really fascinating right down here. I call this the big line. And this, it's a lot more than just a line on top of some mountain plateaus here. As you can see here, there is plenty of design to this. What does this represent? What almost looks like a big tail to a plane coming off the back of it there. Notice that? There are intricate designs right down here below this. You notice there is a lot more than just a line up here. Look at this right here. There's actually kind of a swirl, a spiral shape right there. That is absolutely mind-blowing up here. The detail of this thing, and you notice out here in front, what does this all mean? There got to be some very special meaning to this all the time. This is a little under a half a mile long. What does that represent? That is very cool. That is a large line just right on the top of the mountain with all sorts of intricate designs around it. We're aligned perfectly north here in case you're wondering what direction this goes. But what did this represent? It's been a while since I looked at this up here. But man, that is very cool. That is over a half a mile long. What did this mean? Well, that is up to anybody to guess. Of course, one theory is these are runways for some sort of alien ship, but I don't think any ship could land on one that is less than a half a mile long. There are some longer ones, but let's just take a look up here at some more. And these go for quite a ways up the valley here. Check this out right up here. Some smaller ones lead into a very large one. There are actually two of them. One kind of goes down almost the hill here. One goes straight across the top. There are other things up here. This one has many lines to it right here. This is just a big mystery. Glad to give you a look up here. These are not seen a lot by people. Here's a look from overhead. See, these have multiple lines. This is just one big clear line. Then they converge. And then they just run. And then they stop right here where this little plateau comes to a stop here. Here's the line I just showed you right down here. That starts and runs all the way down here. You can see the other line going here, up here. There are lines. They are literally all the way up this valley. But I think that's pretty remarkable. That line right there goes for about 1.33 miles, well over a mile. Let's just look up here. Right up here there is one. And this almost appears in the shape of a sword. Right there comes to a point right down here. Anybody can leave their thoughts on what these represent, because for all the time these have been known, no good theory. But do these point to something in the far distance? Well, I don't know. Let's go look at a few others. These are the last ones up the valley I have found. But right up here, there is a line going here. Then it gets bigger. There are more lines coming down this hill. And they kind of converge right down here. These are massive. This is coming kind of down the hill, converging right down here. What does this mean? I've looked at these for a while, and I don't really have any good idea anymore what these mean. That is a good look at these lines up here. These are about 12 to 15 miles away from the famous Nazca Lines down here. I think these are a big mystery. What do those represent, and who on earth took all that time to make that? We don't know what it is today. That's my video on Nazca. Hope you thought that was interesting. Please leave your comments below. Peru, very ancient part of the world. A lot of mysteries. You all have a very safe day.